Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Talk. I'm Ava, and I am feeling, honestly, a little bit tired today, but so happy to be here with you.
Only a little bit tired, Ava? I've seen your coffee mug. It's the size of a soup bowl. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul.
It's a survival tool, Paul. Don't judge. But actually, that's a perfect start for today. Paul, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I just woke up and I'm a zombie, and 10 being I am a golden ray of sunshine, how was your day so far?
Ooh, usually I'm a solid 4 until noon, but today, maybe a 6? I found a $5 bill in my old jeans, so that's a win. What about you, listeners? Think about it for a second. If your day was a color right now, what color would it be? Is it a bright, busy yellow? Or maybe a calm, rainy day blue?
I love that. A rainy day blue sounds so peaceful. But Paul, when someone asks us, how was your day? We usually just say fine or good. It's like a reflex.
Right? It's the most boring answer in the world. It's like eating plain white bread. No flavor, no story.
Exactly. And for our friends learning English, it can feel like a trap. You want to say more, you want to share your life, but the words just stay stuck. Today, we're going to break that trap. We're going to talk about how to move past I'm fine and actually share your world.
We've got some stories, some mistakes I've definitely made, and a way to make your English feel much more like you.
So settle in, grab your own giant mug of coffee, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to grow your English with us every week. Let's get into it. So, Paul, let's be real. When we ask, how was your day, we aren't usually looking for a list of every single thing you did. I don't need to know that you brushed your teeth at 7:02 a.m.
Oh, thank goodness, because I actually brushed them at 7:05 today. I was running late. But you're right. People want the feeling of the day, not a schedule.
Exactly. I remember when I was first learning a second language, I tried to translate my entire day in my head. I went to a cafe, I drank coffee, I walked to the park. It felt like I was reading a grocery list. It was so dry.
It's robotic. It's like beep boop, I am a human who did 3 tasks today.
Exactly. But then one day I was sitting in this tiny, crowded cafe. It smelled like burnt cinnamon and old bugs. And a friend asked me how I was. Instead of saying I am fine, I just said, honestly, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Oh, that's a big word, overwhelmed. It's like when you have too much to do and your brain feels like a browser with 50 tabs open.
Precisely. Overwhelmed. When everything feels like too much. And you know what happened, Paul? My friend didn't just say, oh, okay. She sat down, looked me in the eyes and said, me too. My boss is driving me crazy. Suddenly, we weren't just practicing a language, we were sharing a life.
That's the magic of it. It's that emotional bridge. When you use words that describe your mood, you invite the other person in. Listeners, think about that for a second. When was the last time you told someone how you actually felt instead of just what you did?
It's scary, though. It's a lot safer to stay in the I am fine zone. It's a comfortable bubble. But if you stay in the bubble, you stay lonely.
I get that. Even in English, my native language, I sometimes hide behind fine. But then I realize I'm missing out on a laugh or a bit of support. Like today, if I just said good, I wouldn't have told you about the $5 in my pocket. And that $5 made me feel relieved.
Relieved. That's another great one. It's that feeling when a small weight is lifted off your shoulders. Like when you realize you didn't lose your keys, or you finally finish a difficult email.
Or when the waiter finally brings the food you've been waiting for. Pure relief.
I'm always thinking about food, Paul. But seriously, to our listeners, try to find one feeling word today, even if it's just to yourself. Was your morning hectic, meaning very busy and a bit crazy? Or was it serene, very calm and peaceful?
I like hectic. It sounds like what it is, hectic. My kitchen is hectic every single morning. It's a circus with toast.
A toast circus. I love it. But that's the point. That little detail makes me see your life. It makes your English come alive.
Let's get vulnerable for a second. Ava, have you ever tried to describe your day in another language and just completely failed? Like you wanted to sound like a poet, but you sounded like a toddler.
Oh, every single day when I was living abroad. I remember one time I was trying to tell a coworker that I had a tiring day. I was exhausted, but instead I looked him dead in the eye and said, "I am tiresome."
Oh no. For our listeners who might not know, if you say you are tiresome, you're saying you are the person who makes everyone else sleepy because you're so boring.
Exactly. I was basically saying, "Hi, I'm Ava, and I'm very annoying to be around." He just looked at me with this confused, polite smile and said, okay, I'll leave you alone then." I felt so embarrassed. I just wanted to crawl under my desk and hide.
See, that's the thing. We're so afraid of making those mistakes, those I am boring versus I am bored moments, that we stop talking. We get tongue-tied. That's when your tongue feels like it's tied in a knot and no words can come out.
It's a physical feeling, isn't it? Your heart beats a little faster, your face gets hot. You want to explain that your boss was unreasonable, someone who is difficult and won't listen to logic, but you can't find the word, so you just say, "Work bad."
Work bad. I've been there. But here's the secret. Most people don't care if you use the wrong word. They care that you're trying to connect. When you said you were tiresome, did that coworker hate you?
No, we actually laughed about it a week later. He told me he once tried to say he was hungry in my language, but accidentally said he was dead.
Wow, that's a bit more dramatic than being boring. But that's the point. We all have these language scars. And honestly, they make the best stories.
They really do. And here's a tip for when you feel tongue-tied. Use like. It's a little bridge. If you can't find the perfect word for your day, say, "My day was like a storm," or "My day was like a long, slow song."
I love that. It gives your brain a second to breathe. Listeners, think about a time you made a mistake in English. Did the world end? Probably not. You're still here. You're still learning.
Instead of focusing on being perfect, focus on being authentic. Authentic means being the real you. If your day was messy, say it was messy. Don't try to find the perfect textbook sentence.
Yeah, because nobody actually lives in a textbook. If I asked my neighbor how he was and he said, "I am having a most pleasant and productive afternoon, thank you," I'd think he was a robot.
Totally. So give yourself permission to be a little messy today. It's okay if your English has a few scratches on it. We've talked about the what and the how, but I want to talk about the why for a second. Why does it feel so heavy to share our day?
I think it's fear, Ava. Fear that if I say, "Today it was actually really hard," I'm being a downer, someone who brings the mood down. We feel like we have to be on all the time, especially in a second language. You want to show you're smart and capable.
That's so true. We wear a mask of perfect English and perfect life, but real growth happens when you take the mask off. I call it falling forward. It's the idea that even when you trip, you're still moving in the right direction.
Falling forward, I like that. It's like, okay, I used the wrong verb tense, but I told a joke and my friend laughed. That's a win.
Exactly. Paul, if you could go back to yourself 3 years ago, back when you were first starting a big project or learning something new, what would you say about those bad days?
Honestly, I'd tell myself that a bad day is just a story in progress. If every day was a 10 out of 10, movies would be very boring. Man wakes up, eats perfect toast, goes to a perfect job, comes home. The end. Who wants to watch that?
No one. We want the drama. We want the part where the car doesn't start or the coffee spills, because those are the moments where we learn to be resilient.
Resilient. That's a powerful word. It's like a rubber band. It gets stretched and pulled, but it snaps back. To our listeners, you are already resilient. You are listening to a podcast in a different language. That is huge.
It really is. So here's a mindset shift for you this week. Instead of trying to have a perfect day in English, try to have an honest one. If someone asks how you are, try to give them one tiny piece of the truth.
Maybe start small, like, I'm a bit tired, but the weather is nice. You don't have to give a soul-searching speech, just a little peek behind the curtain.
Exactly. Just one honest sentence a day. That's your challenge. Reflect on this. What is one thing that happened today that made you feel something? Not a task, but a feeling.
For me, it was seeing a dog wearing a little yellow raincoat. It was ridiculous, totally silly, but it made me smile for 10 minutes.
See, that's a story. I saw a dog in a raincoat, and it was ridiculous. That's way better than I am fine.
It really is, and it makes me feel more like, well, like me.
It's time for our word tour. This is where we slow down and look at those juicy words we used in our conversation.
I love this part. It's like looking at the souvenirs we collected from our talk. We've got about 10 gems for you today. Ready, Ava?
Ready. First up is overwhelmed. Definition: when you feel like you have too much to do or too many emotions to handle. Example: I have 5 deadlines today and I feel totally overwhelmed. Your turn. Try saying it after me. Overwhelmed.
Word number 2, relieved. Feeling happy because something unpleasant has stopped or didn't happen. Example: I was so relieved when I found my passport in my bag. Your turn. Let's hear it. Relieved.
Next is hectic. Definition: very busy, fast, and full of activity. Example: my morning was so hectic that I forgot to eat breakfast. Give it a try. Hectic.
Number 4, serene. Peaceful, calm, and untroubled. Example: the park was so serene at sunrise. Your turn. Nice and slow. Serene.
Word 5, tiresome. This describes something or someone that is boring or makes you feel annoyed. Remember my mistake? Example: that long meeting was very tiresome. Say it with me. Tiresome.
Word 6, tongue-tied. Unable to speak easily because you were nervous or embarrassed. Example: when the keep barista said hi, I got totally tongue-tied. Your turn. Try that one. Tongue-tied.
Number 7, unreasonable. Definition: not fair or not using good sense. Example: my boss gave me an unreasonable amount of work for one weekend. Your turn. One more time. Unreasonable.
Word 8, authentic. Definition: real, true, and not a copy. Being your real self. Example: I want to have authentic conversations in English even if I make mistakes. Your turn. Speak it out. Authentic.
Number 9, resilient. Definition: able to become strong, healthy, or successful again after something bad happens. Example: our listeners are resilient because they never give up on learning. Your turn. Let's hear it. Resilient.
And finally, number 10, ridiculous. Definition: very silly or stupid, making you want to laugh. Example: the dog looked ridiculous in its tiny yellow raincoat. Your turn. Last one. Ridiculous.
Great job, everyone. That's quite a list. Don't worry about memorizing them all at once. Just pick one that feels like you today. We've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we, Paul? From toast circuses to the fear of being tiresome.
We really have. And honestly, just talking about it makes me feel a bit more serene. It's funny how sharing the messy parts of our day makes the day feel lighter.
It really does. To our listeners, thank you for spending this time with us. Remember, your English doesn't need to be a perfect, polished diamond. It just needs to be a bridge to another person.
So here's our question for you today. In the comments, or just in your own head, how would you describe your day using one of our new words? Was it hectic? Was it ridiculous? We'd love to hear your authentic stories.
If you enjoyed today's journey, please subscribe to Roy English Talk and leave us a review. It helps us keep these conversations going.
And hey, if you made a mistake in English today, high five. That means you're playing the game. You're being resilient.
Exactly. Take a deep breath. You're doing better than you think. We'll be back next week with more stories and more ways to find your voice.
Until then, keep talking, keep stumbling, and keep being you.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Thank you very much, dear friends, for watching the full video.